counties, excluding a lot of Southside and Lynchburg. Part of Nelson County included in that as well. But Appomattox, Charlotte Campbell, as you get towards Halifax and Pennsylvania, staying outside of the advisory for right now. Not looking at a warning, so it's not particularly dangerous out, but you still want to be extra careful with ice forming on roads that you might not be able to tell. It's not the best day for driving. If you can hang out inside today, we're looking at much calmer weather for a lot of the week ahead. As far as the snow goes right now, the bulk of this system has moved off towards the east, so it's not consistent snowfall right now, but there is plenty of scattered snow in the blue showing up really from Blacksburg all the way towards the east. We've still got snow falling again in Charlotte and Campbell counties where it's a little bit lighter outside of the advisory, but we've also got warm enough temperatures combined with some cold at the surface to cause some freezing rain and ice to be coming down from Roanoke to the south and west. So once you get south of 460, it is fairly active. To the north of that, a lot of the snow has eased off. If you're south of Covington, it's staying pretty dry for right now. And there's not a lot that's developing behind this particular branch. So I think in the next couple hours, as the NRV sees this move further towards the east, we'll stay dry from that point on. And we really don't have too much rain or snow coverage overnight. Little pieces here and there through about 8 or 9 p.m. is all the more that's going on. The bulk of this system has moved off towards the east. The center of the low pressure is going to move along as well. But it's even bringing rain with the warmer temperatures that we've got in the very western edge of Virginia, in West Virginia, in Kentucky. So as we get a little bit warmer air coming in, that will help us out overnight going into tomorrow. To take a look further around the country, the same system bringing in lots of storms, even tornado watches down into southern Georgia, southern Alabama, and northern Florida. So it's pretty strong, plenty of temperature change all throughout. Since we're right on the border between the snow and rain, we're looking at more back and forth weather that stays calmer than tornadoes and calmer than large blizzards, which they've had to deal with further towards the north. From the Dakotas all the way over into New York, there's been some snow going on through today. Right now, a lot of it is circling around Minneapolis into Wisconsin, bringing snow up through Chicago and into Michigan. Not the best day for flying across any of the eastern part of the country, but a lot of those transfer points are looking at a good amount of snow right now. So if you're expecting a family member to come through on a flight later on today, it might still be a while before they end up taking off. On top of that, there's still the intense rainfall that's coming on the western side of the country that's caused flooding throughout California, and that's stretching up into Oregon and Washington as well. Staying fairly dry as you get further towards the central part of the country. But a lot of us are impacted by weather right now, so hope you're staying safe, and hopefully the rest of your family, if they're living across the country, are staying safe as well. One benefit about this afternoon, with the snow being less consistent and some warmer temperatures on the surface, in addition to traffic already being out, there is less snow actively built up on the roads, so it's okay to get out and about this afternoon and this evening. I still wouldn't exactly recommend it if you don't have to, because there could be patches of ice, little pieces of snow falling before cars are able to push it out of the way or the ground is able to melt. It could still be hazardous. So you want to be extra careful through the rest of the day, despite the little pieces of sunshine that we've got here and there. South of 460 and east of 81, most of us are looking at less than an inch of snowfall. And then as you get north of that in the blue section on this particular map, so the northern edge of the NRV, Bland, Craig, Giles County, and into the Highlands, that's where we're looking at an inch of snow building up. Also down towards Bent Mountain, there's a little bit better chance for snowfall. As far as the highest snow totals we've seen so far, Mountain Grove, so up by Hot Springs, coming in at 1.6 inches. Stewartsville, a little to the east of Roanoke, is at 1.3, and Elliston at 1.0. Cave Spring, so in the greater part of Roanoke itself, just under an inch, and then Blacksburg at half an inch. But as you get further towards the south of Roanoke and into the NRV, towards where Blacksburg and Christiansburg are, there's an easier chance for that to mix in with ice, so it's not quite as organized snowfall is what we're looking at further towards the north, where we're able to just stack up more than an inch of straight up snow, or the rain that we mostly got coming in towards the east. In the NRV and Roanoke zones, a lot of us have seen at least some ice building up, especially those higher elevations from Bent Mountain down towards the south and west, getting closer to a quarter inch of ice. There haven't been too many reports of freezing rain, one coming into North Carolina of about 1/10 of an inch, but if you do have any ice measurements, we'd love to hear them so that we can give a little bit more information as we go through the rest of the day. Now, for the future tracker, for what we've got going on, For this afternoon and this evening, a lot of the snow will make its way towards the east. So right now we're looking at a mix of snow and ice coverage. Give it another hour or so and a lot of that is moved east of the Highlands and NRV. Even those warmer temperatures that are on the western side of the system are starting to melt a little bit of that ice, so it's more consistently coming down as rain, and that will help to get rid of some of the ice and snow that's built up on the roads. Now by 5 p.m. it moves a little bit further towards the east. It's starting to warm up enough that we get some extra rain along those counties on the North Carolina border and finishing up in more of those western counties. After 6 p.m. it looks pretty similar, but again, more green showing up, more rain, less chance for that ice to develop. And after 6, there's not really a whole lot left over. Our temperatures are warm enough that we're generally looking at showers at that point with a lot of cloud cover. That is going to be really consistent through the rest of the day and overnight. But we do stay dry as we get towards midnight going into Monday morning. There's some snow that tries to build up on those western slopes, but it's going to be pretty limited to the morning, and I think especially further into the Highlands than in the NRV. We get some sunshine in the afternoon. That'll help us warm up some. Our temperatures across the board are looking warmer on Monday than what we've had today. The sunshine, warmer air coming in, those will both help us out. Through Monday night, again, snow mostly stays up towards our northwest. Tuesday, it's a similar situation. I think the NRV could get a little bit more of that really light snowfall, but we're talking flakes maybe up towards 1/10 of an inch. Doesn't look like it's going to stack up too high, except in the spots in Pocahontas and Greenbrier that have had more consistent snowfall over the season so far. Getting into Tuesday evening, more widespread sunshine. Temperatures are a little bit cooler because of the prevailing systems that we've got. It's going to bring in a lot of cool air, so expect Wednesday morning to feel particularly cold, but then we're on a little bit more consistent spring-like warmer trend as we get into the end of this week. Most of our winds are staying calm through the afternoon, so we don't have to deal with wind on top of the snowfall, and it's not feeling any extra colder than what the actual temperature is. And on a day like today, wind chill is kind of the last thing that we need. Now tomorrow, the winds are going to pick up in the afternoon to go along with the sunshine that we've got. Winds to 10, even up to 15 miles per hour, with gusts mostly staying under 30, so calmer than what we would have had on Saturday. That is going to make it a little bit cooler in some places, but a lot of our highs are at least at 50 or above it, so through the afternoon, wind chill is pretty manageable. Looking forward to morning lows later on this week. We do have a lot of cold air coming on. So Wednesday morning, a lot of spots looking at a hard freeze. Not going to be great for those plants that have already bloomed. Whitfield looking at 20, Blacksburg 24, even Lexington at 29, staying below 32 in South Boston and Danville, where we usually have our warmest temperatures. And Hot Springs, I think, will have a hard time getting out of the teens. Meanwhile, on Thursday, it's a little bit better, but still plenty of temperatures down into the 20s. So if you had plants that you set back outside, then try to take them back in if you can. Otherwise, maybe get ready for some extra gardening as we go through the next couple of weeks with warmer temperatures as we get further into spring. We are still technically in winter, even though we sprung forward for today. We've got just a few more days left. As we roll into April, we'll be looking at generally warmer temperatures, setting us up for spring and summer. Lewisburg's at 23 Thursday morning, Lynchburg 28, Floyd 27. I think even Roanoke's down below 32. Tonight is a little bit warmer than most of those temperatures are going to be towards the middle part of the week. Whitfield at 33, Covington 31, Danville at 33. So we're warm enough that we can get some melting going on from the system that we've got coming through. That's why I don't think we're going to see a ton of ice tomorrow morning, but with temperatures pretty close to 32, it's definitely possible to still have it in the morning. Be extra careful if you are headed out early on Monday. Now, as Monday goes along, we have more and more sunshine in the afternoon, which helps our temperatures get from 40 in Whitfield and 39 in Hillsville to putting Danville and South Boston in the mid-50s. There is a pretty big gulf. It's definitely colder as you go towards the west, but all of us are getting pretty well above 32 to take care of any of the snowfall that we've got. Now, as we get into the middle of the week, we have even more sunshine that'll push temperatures back into the 50s after the cold on Tuesday. But remember, starts off cold Wednesday morning and Thursday morning. Thursday night, we're back into the 40s. We do have another system that's coming through Friday night that's going to bring some showers late Friday and going into Saturday. And then as we get towards Sunday, we do lose a little bit of heat there. Slightly below average, but not nearly as cool as we were for today. So now we're going to ask if you guys have any questions on the forecast, what's going on today, what's coming on later this week, before we say goodbye. So let's see if there's any questions. All right, nothing right now. So if you do have any questions, I'll stick around for a bit, kind of loop around, show you more of what we're thinking of, and then we'll keep you updated all the way through the rest of this system. Now, looking at the NRV, most of our temperatures are going to end up in the 40s, some getting into the 30s Tuesday and Wednesday. For the highlands, we're looking at some of those snow showers for both Monday and Tuesday. So not the absolute nicest weather as we get there. We're going to have pretty consistent sunshine for Wednesday. I'm going to step off camera for just a second to get our graphics reset so we can take another look at the radar, some of those snow totals that we've got as well. Hopefully you're able to stay safe through the rest of the day. Like I was saying earlier on, we're going to have a lot calmer weather once we get into this evening, but we still have our winter weather advisory in a lot of spots until 10 p.m. To be safe, just kind of hang out as long as you can. Winter weather advisory as opposed to a warning, so not quite the same level of dangerous conditions that we could be seeing. And in the southeast, we don't have quite those same intense conditions either. Once we get the next couple of hours along, the snow and rain that we've got right now will push further towards the east, and we'll start to see more of the green that's popping up around Martinsville. There's not a lot of warm air to work with right now, but with extra sunshine throughout the afternoon, that'll help to push those temperatures up. Snow is a little bit more consistent towards the north, but we're already seeing some clouds breaking in Greenbrier County, and that's going to be the case as we go further on. I do think we generally stay overcast overnight, but between now and sunset, we've got at least a little bit of sunshine to help us out. Most of our snow is pushed pretty far towards the east at that point, and we have a lot of warm temperatures on the eastern side of the state that is helping that stay as rainfall as opposed to coming down as snow. It's okay if you have to get out and about this afternoon, but definitely not great. If you can wait until tomorrow, that's a better option. North of 460 and along that kind of northwestern edge of 81 is where we're looking at most of our snow stacking up, 1 to 2 inches there. And as you get gradually further towards the south and east of 81, it stays under an inch in most spots. It's kind of hard for the snow to build up there. As of 2:45, the highest snow total that we had was in Mountain Grove up by Hot Springs. That was 1.6 inches. And then Stewartsville at 1.3, Ellison ringing in at 1. And then as you get south of 460 again, looking at less than an inch of snow. But even Blacksburg's built up to 0.5, Cave Spring at 0.8, towards Bent Mountain seeing some ice and snow. We'll have some more reports later on from around the region. Our reporter Abby Coleman was out earlier on showing us the mix of rain and snow. And with cold enough temperatures, that's formed some ice as well. Southwest of Roanoke is where we're looking at most of our ice building up, so that very southern edge of the NRV. That excuse me, we still have enough moisture that we could get some tree branches weighed down, but with the amount of freezing rain decreasing in the next couple of hours, that risk is going to go down. So as long as you're not out and about, mostly looking at safe weather through the rest of the day. This is going to keep on pushing towards the east. So around right now, most of us have got some snow, some freezing rain going on, but by 4, starting to see some more greens popping up with warmer temperatures causing rain as opposed to snow. That continues to be the trend through 5 p.m. And a lot of the NRV and Highlands are looking at the snow basically done at that point. Since it's moving from west to east, those are the places that are going to dry up first. And with the warmer temperatures in the south side, it keeps it calmer until that system finally exits. Overnight, we're looking at some pretty calm weather. That's going to be the case for Monday morning as well. Just a few showers towards the north and south. Going to check again for any more questions. And other than that, it's probably going to do it for us right now. All right, so it doesn't look like we've got any more right this second. If you do have questions, we're on Facebook. We'll be on air 6 and 11 tonight with more updates, more snow totals, more freezing rain totals. Again, hope you're staying safe. We do have pretty calm conditions through the rest of the week ahead. We'll make sure to keep you updated, especially as the rain comes and the cold temperatures for the middle of the week.